and welcome to today's flight here on EZY8629. We're flying the Airbus X extended from London-Gatwick all the way down to Palma de Mallorca, just down in one of the islands just to the east of Spain in the Mediterranean. A pretty short flight here today, only about an hour and 40 minutes, which by my standards is pretty short. Let me pull up some of the flight info here. You can see here all that information I just said here is on the text, and you can kind of follow along. I've linked all of the OFP flight plan information and all that good stuff down below in the description, so if you'd like to see some of that during the flight, feel free to click on those links and follow along. So my OFP for today's flight was prepared by PFPX. We are going to be flying pretty much straightforward flight here today. I'll go through some of the departure briefing information and whatnot, but I will be going on the FMS and everything, and we'll program everything in. As I see so far, we have Gatwick ground online, and that's about it. There was center earlier, but I guess no London control for today. So let me go ahead here and hop over into the sim so you guys can see what I'm doing here. And I'll go ahead and take off that info. All of that info is just down below in the description, so if you need to see more of that, just go and find it down there. So in the description here, or rather on the simulator, we'll just go through a typical pre-flight with the built-in kind of checklist, relaying, whatnot, thingamabobber, we'll call it that. So we'll do a cockpit preparation really quickly, and we'll let it run that.
Okay, let's start with the cockpit preparation checklist.
Engine master.
Both off.
Engine node selector.
Check normal.
Parking brake.
Is off.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
Cam recall.
Checked.
Anti-skid.
Is on.
Emergency lights.
Checked arm.
No smoking signs.
Is on.
Air condition.
Checked.
Ventilation panel.
Checked.
Fuel pumps.
Set on.
ADIRS.
Checked.
Checklist complete.
Okay, there we go. So there's the kind of pre-flight checklist here. I have open vPilot, my flight plan window here. You can see we're flying from Gatwick to Palma with an alternate of Barcelona with an hour and 40 minutes en route. We'll be cruising at flight level 390, I believe. And for our departure, we'll be flying to Bagna, and I believe we'll be flying the Bagna 1 X-ray departure. That's an RNAV procedure. If not, there is the 1 Mike departure, which is a non-RNAV procedure, but we'll just see what ground wants us to do. Everything else has been filed and all that, so we'll go ahead and close that out. And we'll go ahead here and request an IFR clearance here in just a moment. And I guess there's not going to be any ATIS. There was an ATIS earlier, but we'll just have to call up for clearance then.
Version 409 Papa, cancel pushback and clearance. It seems that you filed for Innsbruck. Would you be able to refile Vienna? Roger, thank you. Monarch 112, you are cleared to Vienna. Dover 1 X-ray departure, squawk 0563.
While we're waiting, let's just see how much traffic. I think it's just that one. Oh, there's two. Okay, so we have
Vienna via
one over here
X-ray departure,
and one over here.
0563.
So just 2 aircraft on the ground today, which is pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy. And we'll go ahead and request
Monarch
clearance here in just a
112,
moment.
reback correct, QNH 1015. Monarch 112, ready to push and start. Monarch 112, push and start approved.
And Crazy Gamer, not a problem. Okay, I think we can get some radio sounds, so we'll squeeze it in here.
Skipper 274 Bravo.
Maybe?
For whatever reason, my senior doesn't have 566. I do have 61 or 62 on this scenario.
We'll sneak in the
Take,
clearance here in just a
on the
moment.
right-hand side.
Speedbird 274 Bravo, roger. Any stands on your right-hand side?
Roger, many thanks, Speedbird 274 Bravo.
Any day now. Maybe? 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 Yeah, let's give it a try. Gatwick ground, good afternoon. EZY8629 is a type A320 at stand 105. Request IFR clearance to Palma. Maybe.
EZY8629, Gatwick ground, good afternoon. You're cleared to Palma of the 1 X-ray departure, squawk 7717.
Okay, we're cleared to Palma, Bogna 1 X-ray departure, squawk 7717, EZY8629.
EZY8629, read that correct, QNH 1015.
1015, EZY8629. Okay, you guys, so that was the clearance. We're cleared to Palma via the Bogna 1 X-ray departure, which is the RNF procedure, which I told you earlier. And the squawk code is 7717. So let's go ahead and plug in that, because I tend to forget that sometimes. We'll just let that go like that. And so we'll go ahead, now we can program the FMS. I'm going to pull up my Aerosoft EFB here, and luckily I already have programmed in the Bogna 1 X-ray departure, so it's pretty straightforward. It's just a simple fly out, and then we're going to do a left turn with the RNAV procedure. With these altitude restrictions, we probably won't have to adhere to these because we don't have any London control or anything like that online. As for the taxi out, it's runway 26 left for departure, so we'll get a taxi probably via Kilo and then Papa, and then maybe one of these combinations here, and there's some kind of a holding point that we'll get, so we'll want to double check the holding points before we request the taxi clearance. That way we just don't have any kind of fumbles or anything. And Sapiens 89, I currently use windowed mode just because of the streaming configuration.
Bravo, many thanks for the service.
But,
have a good session. See you again.
Yeah, there's lots of ways you can do it there. So I'm going to go ahead now and program the FMS.
274 Bravo,
So let's go
roger.
ahead
Thanks for
here.
flying, see you soon.
We'll plug in EGKK to LE Papa Alpha, and we have the company route, so we'll go ahead and just plug that in. Hopefully my FSX doesn't crash too badly on this one.
Gatwick ground, Legend 409 Papa.
There we go. Our flight number for today is EZY
Virgin 409 Papa, taxi hold Alpha 3, left on Lima, left on Papa,
29,
left Alpha
cost index 30, flight level 390. For the fuel on board we have 6.7, I think. Let me double check that. Yeah, 6.7.
Virgin 409 Papa, set squawk 5.
And let me turn down, here I'm going to turn down my VATSIM really quick. Let me scroll over here and find it. It's hiding here somewhere. Oh, there it is, okay. So we'll go ahead and turn vPilot down just so we can talk a little bit here. So with the flight plan, we're going to be departing runway 26 left, actually, via the Bogna. Oh, there we go. We're going to be flying the Bogna 1 X-ray departure. We'll plug that in. And for the arrival, let me scroll all the way down here. I have the Tulsa 1 Papa arrival via the ILS runway 24 right Yankee. So let's go ahead and find that here. The Tulsa. It's down here somewhere. There it is. Tulsa 1 Papa. And for the VIA, we're going to do via the Papa Oscar Sierra VOR on the star. Okay, so everything's plugged in. I show 744 nautical miles from destination to arrival, and that looks correct. With arrival fuel of 2.8. Let me just double check that figure on my OFP here. The arrival fuel I show 2.3, so that's good. Everything appears to be correct there. For the performance page, I'm going to plug in my speeds here. I have flaps 1 for departure, and for the takeoff speed we have 126, 135, and 136. Transition altitude is 6,000. Everything appears to be in good order. So that's pretty much the pre-flight for you guys. I'm going to go ahead here and close up the doors, and we'll be on our way shortly. Okay, I'll close up the cargo doors, close up our aft right, front right. We'll close the aft left and the front left, just like that. Now our ground services, we'll get those after it runs the before start checklist here.
Before start checklist. Closed and locked.
APU.
Set on.
APU. External power.
Disconnected and off.
Cabin size.
Is on.
Thrust lever.
Idle.
Parking brake.
Set on.
Barrel reference.
1015.
10. Beacon lights.
Set on.
Checklist complete.
Maybe if my easy dock will cooperate a bit, I can get the jetway away. Perhaps. There we go. It's moving. Alright, so let's go ahead here and get rid of the chocks and everything. We'll get rid of all of that. And we'll go ahead here and we'll start the pushback process with ATC. Gatwick ground, EZY8629, request pushback.
EZY8629, push and start approved, face east.
Push and start approved, facing east, EZY8629. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start the pushback here.
Version 409 of Papa,
Let me go
no
turn
further
that down here.
ATC, Monster Unicorn 122.8.
ATC clearance
And we're
for
gonna
start and taxi receive.
And
So
push
please
back,
confirm ground equipment and services clear.
facing to the left. And while that's running, you guys, I'm going to go ahead here and open up
Ground equipment and stairs clear. Doors closed.
my chart here for the holding points. That way when we get the taxi clearance, we don't get caught up or anything. Let's see if I can find it here. While that's doing, I'm going to keep it on this window so you guys can see the pushback process.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Okay, there we go.
Release parking brake. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
And ZPO HD, not quite sure what you mean there. Maybe someone else does. Let's go ahead and turn up the ATC again. And we'll go ahead and start the engine process here. So we'll go ahead and turn our engine start, engine number 2. And let's see if we get a closer look here at that.
Engine 2 is stabilized.
Okay, engine number 2 is stabilized. We're going to go ahead and start number 1.
Starting number 1.
And Aero Dan, check down below in the description. I'll talk about my specs and some of my add-ons during the cruise. Okay, engine number 1 is coming alive here. I show good start on engine number 1. And we'll just wait for our little captain to say it's stabilized.
Engine 1 is stabilized.
Okay, engine number 1 is stabilized. We're going to go put that back to normal. And we're
Okay,
facing
good start of
east
both
on
engines and also-
taxiway. I believe it's Kilo. Taxiway Kilo.
So signal to... Thank you, guys.
Roger, good start.
Oh, I'm all zoomed in.
Have a good flight.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead here and do some of the after start procedures. We'll drop the flaps down to position number 1. And we'll go ahead and turn on some of our lights here.
Set parking
We'll
brake.
set the parking brakes. And let's take a look here at the overhead. Everything looks good. APU, we can go ahead and turn that off. Like that. And we should be ready
Let's
for taxi.
proceed with the after start checklist.
Engine mode selector.
Check normal.
APU lead.
Is off.
APU master.
Is off.
Ground spoilers.
Set.
Rudder trim.
Check 0.
Pitch trim.
Tow truck
Set.
disconnected. Bypass fan removed.
Full left. Full right. Neutral. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Check. Flaps.
Flaps 1
Engine
Right is
are
clear.
off.
Beacon status.
Checked.
Beacon door page.
Checked.
Hand signal.
Received.
Check is complete.
Okay guys, we're going to go ahead here and request the taxi clearance. And we'll be on our way. Let me go ahead here and open up my chart for the ground diagram here. You can see here once I request it, over here at taxiway Kilo facing east, we'll probably get something down to like holding point, Mike 3 or Alpha 3 or one of those combinations, and we'll just follow along. So let's see what they have. Gatwick ground EZY8629 request taxi. Maybe.
EZY8629, taxi hold Alpha 2 via Papa Alpha Sierra.
Okay, taxi holding point Alpha 2 via Papa Alpha Sierra EZY8629. Okay, you guys. So that's a pretty easy taxi. We're going to holding point Alpha 2.
Taxiing checklist.
Nose lights.
Taxi.
Thrust levers.
As required.
Brake checks.
Pressed pedal. Checked 0.
And JDam Creek, I'm currently using actually the
Max.
built-in co-pilot and captain for the Aerosoft Airbus X. So
Check.
this is actually not
Check.
FS2 crew at all, quite surprisingly.
Set.
Check is complete.
So you guys, while we're taxiing out here to our Alpha or holding point, be sure to go check out my Facebook and YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/flightguy1997, and give it a quick subscription, all that good stuff. I'll be playing some of my videos during the cruise flight and all that good stuff. So be sure to check that out and subscribe to all those channels. And you can see here with the Aerosoft EFB, I can show here that I'm on taxiway Papa, and I have the real-time updates as I'm taxiing, so it's very difficult to miss a taxiway.
EZY8629, no further ATC, longitude Unicom 122.8. Have a nice flight.
Monitor Unicom 122.80, EZY8629, thank you.
Lighting cables.
Stowed.
Stowed. Check is complete.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and switch over to Unicom here really quickly while I'm taxiing. Hopefully they don't run off the taxiway or something. We'll go ahead and put 122.80 like that, and we'll be on our way out of here. And reviewing the takeoff speeds for today, it's 126, 136, and 15 something. Okay, before we take off, I'm just going to make sure we have everything all set up. Let me just set the parking brake here. Let me just make sure everything is in fact running. That'd be kind of pointless if I tried to do a departure incorrectly, right? Alright, lights are all good to go. Overhead is good. MCP is all set up. Everything appears to be correct. Altimeters are 1015 cross-checked. Everything appears to be good. One thing I'm going to do before we do head out is I'm going to get rid of all of our crossing restrictions because I don't want it to stop the climb as we're heading out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of all of these. Make things a bit easier for us here on the stream. That way I don't have to go back and change it later, of course. So we have 6,000, we'll get rid of that one. And I think that's the last one right here. Ah, one more. There we go. Alright. Is there a 9,000? No, okay, cool. So let's go ahead and take off and we'll be on our way.
Approaching 26 left.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and advance the throttles here on the runway, and we're going to rocket on out of here.
On runway 26 left.
Okay, we're going to advance
Okay,
the toga
let's go. Take
detent.
off.
FMA check.
All good.
Power set. One signal.
Check.
Rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up.
And that's the departure here in the Airbus X extended from Aerosoft. Absolutely awesome aircraft, you guys. If you don't have it, be sure to check it out. I'm going to go through some of the climb procedures and stuff, and I'll be back with you here in just a couple minutes.
Flaps up.
Okay, we're going to go back to the climb detent,
Climb thrust.
and we'll put the autopilot on.
After takeoff is on.
Engine mode selector.
Check normal.
Orders.
Disarmed.
Flaps.
Check retracted.
Landing gear.
Gear up.
And it looks like there's a speed restriction or something. Yeah, let's
Set
go to
off.
that speed restriction.
Both on.
Anti-ice.
Are off.
Sequence.
Check.
Altimeter.
1015.
1015. Check is complete.
Yeah, these RNAV departures, the only disadvantage to them really is that they're chocked full of all these different restrictions for both speed and altitude. So if you get all that canceled, you kind of have to go back and clear them all out yourself. It's a bit of an inconvenience, but with the RNAV procedures you get a bit more accuracy.
Barrel reference set. Cross-check.
And there is the transition altitude there at 6,000 feet. So we're now in standard mode with the altimeters. Everything appears to be pretty good. I'll give you guys some cool little shots here on the flight deck as well as the exterior, and then I'll talk with you about some of the add-ons and the specs that I'm running for today's flight, as well as some of the videos on my YouTube channel, all that fun stuff. So be sure to stick around for all that information, and I'll see you back here in a few minutes.